Hi everybody, it's Darren here, HSP Christian, and it's been a while since I've done a video and I just wanted to do an update. The last time I put a video out was about how I was hurt by somebody because I allowed them to, uh, because of my own desire to have friends, I let them walk all over top of me. And I got a really touching comment from a person called Tenderhearted, and it it touched my heart. It helped me to deal with a lot of the issues. And but here I am, 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is later, and um, you know, done a lot of healing, done a lot of searching, not allowed myself to get caught up in that kind of situation again. Been very weary of people that are, that try to use me for that kind of situation. I just wanted to share a scripture with you guys. Uh, it's from Hebrews. So the scripture is it's out of Hebrews 4, verse 2. For unto us the gospel was preached, as well as unto them by the word preached, or but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. That kind of like bang hit me hard because it's like not mixed with faith. Um, so a lot of times we have a tendency to just kind of glaze over the word really quick, and it's like, oh yeah, it's all black and white or red and white sometimes, and we don't um, we don't connect with it. And I just started this study called Grace Walk, and it's starting to show me some amazing things about connecting to the word properly. Um, and the one that I wanted to really share with you is the one that I read this morning. That one was from a day, so it's also out of Hebrews 4, 15 and 16. You've probably all heard this many times before, but it really touched me when I read it this morning, so I just want to share it. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. I've read that many, many times, and it's got a double negative there. And it's when I read stuff like this, I just kind of like, because it's got a double negative, it sort of glaze over and I don't quite understand it. But when I look at this again, it says we have not an high priest which cannot be touched. So that's basically it's saying we have a high priest that can be touched with feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. And one of the things that I'm learning in the Grace Walk is that, or sorry, in the study that I did, a commentary on this was about how sin, temptation of sin, is not sin. And I think that was one of the things that I was kind of getting caught up in, is that being tempted was tearing me down. It was making me feel like I don't have anything, or I was, I've done wrong. I've walked away from God. So realizing that, even Jesus was tempted by many different, we see, after 40 days in the desert and all the different things that happened to him, he was tempted many times, and also the times that are not spoken in the Word. I'm sure growing up as a teenager and that kind of stuff, and you know, he was tempted, but he didn't allow it to tear him down. He probably felt it, but it didn't tear him down. He didn't get let the fiery dart stab him in the heart. I kind of am encouraged by this, that knowing that Jesus, our high priest, who we see here, touched with feelings. We felt it, and as a HSP, that's something that we have to deal with all the time. Is our feelings kind of hurt us at times, and or we get overwhelmed. Um, I'd like to share a quick story with you about something that happened to. It's about when the difference between empathy and empath. I've read some things about where an empath is, well, that's the devil and yada yada yada. We're not supposed to get involved with that. Um, and then empathy is how you feel the situation. And I was a little bit I didn't know what to think about it because I thought, I don't want to be called, you know, I don't want to walk in the devil's territory. But I had something that happened to me about a year ago, and it was quite amazing what happened. I was in a lineup at at an EI office, and I was having a normal day. I was just a little bit nervous, it's like always am. And when I went into this office, there was nobody around. There was people about, I don't know, about 50 feet away over at a table talking to themselves, and there was nobody behind me. There was one lady in front of me standing at the wicket with the agent, and she was far enough away I couldn't hear her. You got the lines, keep your personal distance so that they can have their privacy. Well, I was standing there and waiting, and it was like all of a sudden I felt this fear, or not fear. It was sadness and despair, and I almost started crying. I was just like, "Whoa, what's going on?" I was like, "I'm going to bolt from this place if this doesn't stop." And then I felt this kind of, well, wait a sec. There's nothing wrong. Why am I feeling sad? There's nothing wrong. No thoughts of sadness came upon me. It was just I felt this feeling, so I just kind of, I guess, intuitively, I took a step forward. The agent couldn't see me, so I stepped forward and I kind of listened to and I heard this lady crying, softly crying, and I heard her say something about her husband's ill. He can't get out of bed, so he can't come in to deal with the paperwork, and she was afraid they were going to lose their EI. And I just took a step back, and I was just like, oh my goodness. I felt that before I even heard that. And I was just like, well, what is that? So I just said, okay, keep yourself calm. And eventually she left. But I felt like I wanted to go up and comfort her. I wanted to go up and tell her it's okay. But I didn't know. I didn't know if I should or not. I didn't feel like it was my place. So I didn't. Anyways, I went up and dealt with my stuff, left the place. And over the last year, I've thought about that quite a few times. And it's like, it's come to me that I felt her. There was no visual cue. I didn't see her crying. I didn't hear her crying. Her body wasn't shaking like she was crying. I just thought she was handing in paperwork and that was going to be the end of it. But I felt her pain and her distress. I felt it. I felt her sadness. And is that empathy? Is that being an empath? What is that? I mean, we see Christ. He would go into a place and he felt them, right? He felt compassion. He felt their sadness. And it moved him to do things. So I just kind of pose that to you guys here. Uh, is that being an empath, or is that just empathy? Considering that empathy, I think, is I see somebody and they're like, oh, they're bad. Like the mirroring nerves, they fire. You see somebody get kicked in the hoo-haws, and you're like, oh, they feel it. Or you see somebody, greet a long lost relative and they start crying and you start crying. That's everybody has those mirroring nerves that run up from your solar plexus up through your chest into your throat and cause that lump in your throat and your heart to pound. And everybody has those. But none of that happened. There was no visual cues. There was no auditory cues. I felt her by whatever means that was. And immediately in my heart when I felt that was to comfort her. I wanted to go up and help her. I wanted to put my arm around her. And just feeling about it now is making me cry because she was hurting. And I have that kind of heart to go and reach out to people who are in need or hurting. So if you guys, whoever watches this, I don't know who's going to see it. It may be 6 months before anybody sees this. But is that empathy? Or is that being an empath? Anyways, that's just Darren for HSP Christian. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.